Right. So self-interest means the expectation that the producer or consumer uh, seeking. In other words, the particular requirements that the private sector expect is said to be self-interest. අපුතා self-interest එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ private sector එක expect කරන එකක්. අපි ගමුකෝ if you are a producer in a market, you have to make goods and services, and your final requirement, your final target is set to be profit. Your final target is profit. So self-interest means the expectation that the entrepreneur or the private sector concentrates. So profit is a major self-interest in the private economy, the market economy. So I added such a description over here as a self-interest. In other words, doing a production for the profit or the wealth for producers. දැන් අපි government එක අරගත්තොත් එහෙම, if the government does not concentrate self-interest or the profit, the government may need uh, equal benefit for the everyone in the society. So then they may concern wealth of the people in the society. Self-interest completely differs from government's target. So profit is said to be self-interest over here. Then the next one, as a feature in a market economy, consumer sovereignty or consumer sovereignty. In here, consumers are leaders in the market. For example, when you want to buy a particular item from a market, I mean private sector, from a private sector, then they give a maximum benefit for you. For example, if you are going to buy a mobile phone, if you are going to buy a laptop, then the producer will provide a warranty and services after sales, and many more services for the consumer. They need loyal customers. Then they will provide a greater benefit for the consumer. It is said to be consumer sovereignty. In other words, consumers are leaders in a market and they determine what kind of good that businesses should produce. Then resources තියෙන පුතා private sector කියන්නේ private entrepreneurs තමයි production එක කරන්නේ. හැබැයි consumer sovereignty කියලා කියන්නේ production එක decide කරන්නේ consumer. Consumer, the actual production occurs in the market based on the consumer expectation. In other words, goods are available in the market which are demanded by consumers. And ඒ විදිය concept එකක් තමයි මේ consumer sovereignty කියලා කියන්නේ. අපි market එකට ගිහිල්ලා මොකක් හරි product එකක් ගද්දි ඒ producerට ඕනේ sale එකක්. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාව ආයි පාරක් ඒ market එයා ගාවටම ගෙන්න ගන්න. එතකොට producer මොකද කරන්නේ? ඔයාට ඕන දේ තමයි supply කරන්නේ. අපි example එකක් ගමුකෝ restaurant එක. As you enter into the restaurant, then you are given such a good welcome and they will provide all the things what you really need. අයි වගේ restaurants වල තියෙන facilities. එතකොට ඒකෙන් ඒගොල්ලොත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ continuous sales. Then goods are or foods or whatever you wanted are available, actually you demanded, right? It is called consumer sovereignty. So then consumer sovereignty is a market, is a feature in a market, as well as consumer sovereignty. එතන මෙහෙම කිව්වට දැන් ඔයාට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මිනිස්සු ඉල්ලන ඒවා තම කන්සියුමර්ස්ලා ඉල්ලන ඒවාද මේ ප්‍රොඩියුසර්ස්ලා හදලා දෙන්නේ කියලා. හැබැයි එහෙම එකකුත් නැහැ නේද? අපි අතර මාකට් එකේ බැලුවොත් එහෙම කන්සියුමර්ස්ලා ඉල්ලන දේවල් නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ. දැන් එක්සැම්පල් එකක් විදියට no, it's a one of නේද ingredient that food production or that people when they use when they make foods to make it more delicious, they may use a particular seasoning powder or else such a no එකම බලන්න නේද ඒ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එක කන්සියුමර්ස් ලන්ට හොඳ එකකුත් නෙමෙයි නේද? ඒක සමහරවිට harmful product එකක්. ඒකේ තියෙන්නේ ගොඩක් සමහරවිට අපි කියනවා favors නේ. ඇත්තටම not good for the health even. හැබැයි what news the television එක දාලා බැලුවොත් වැඩිපුරම advertisement තියෙන්නේ ඔන්න ඔය monkey product එකේ. no. මොකද ඒකේ requirement එක මිනිස්සු ඉල්ලන්නේ නැහනේ. අපිට ඕනේ ඒ විදිහ artificial එකක් කියලා. නේද? හැබැයි ඒකොල්ලා producers ලා එයාගේ resources ටික use කරලා එයාට කැමති එකක් හදනවා. ඊට පස්සේ advertisement use කරලා introduce කරනවා. Thereafter consumers will purchase. They can create consumers demand. Earlier you demanded, then they produce. Right now they produce and they create a demand for the product. Then they use variety of advertising, marketing, this and that. අන්න ඒක නිසා මේ consumer sovereignty කියන එක we can say somewhat a myth, not a real scenario. It should happen, but it is not always. So consumer sovereignty should be there in a market, but producers may also have a power to determine their own decision or the number of goods that they want to make. Consumer sovereignty is a myth, not fully correct. That's what this description says. So you may just go through all the details.
Mechanism determines the factor income like wage in the factor market. Self-interest. Economic self-interest refers to the financial theory that says people should make economic decisions based upon the best outcome for themselves. Self-interest is defined as a way of promoting activities and beliefs that serve to benefit the person making the decision over any other parties involved. Hence, profit is the self-interest of private sector employing resources for the production. In this case, profit is the major incentive of private sector. Consumer sovereignty. This is the idea that it is consumers who influence production decisions. Firms will respond to consumer preferences and so produce the goods demanded by consumers. Others argue that consumer sovereignty is a myth. Firms produce goods and use marketing techniques to sell consumers goods they don't really need or want. Producers also decide the production of goods and services without considering consumer requirements. Therefore, goods are not available which demanded by consumers always. Thus, consumer sovereignty is not fully correct in the market economy. Functions of price mechanism. Signal.
Right, few more things are there.
The free market means that economic decisions are taken by private individuals and firms. Everything is owned and operated by private individuals. In a pure free market, there would be no government intervention in the economy. But there are no pure market economies in the world. However, in practice, governments usually involve themselves in the implementation of certain laws and certain public services, even if only national defense and the protection of private property in market economies.
Right. So, in addition, it says about pure free market economy. In the pure free market economy, resources are fully owned and controlled by the private sector. දැන් පුතා market economy එකට example එකක් තමයි USA. It's a powerful country in the world. Also, Japan, some other developed countries are examples over there. But in every market economy, there is a government. Government can also be seen. Even government should involve in order to overcome some failures. Here we will realize market system is not always good. That's why government should intervene and they will make it correct. So we will realize particular disadvantages in the market economy as well. Also, some benefits of a free market economy can be discussed over here. Actually, the market economy is best. That's the system. So many without any involvement of the private or public sector, actually automatically resources are allocated. That's why the market may not have a shortage or surplus. A shortage or surplus. That's an example. Nowadays, there was a huge, we can say, bad weather, adverse weather, as well as such a natural disaster ruin entire harvest of some farmers. Then, of course, in future days, we will have lack of goods. If goods are really low or lack in supply, then we can imagine price of these items, vegetable items, will rise in future days. නේද අපිට ඒක expect කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් market එකේ problem එකක් තිබුණොත් necessarily in future prices will rise. එතකොට price එක increase වෙනකොට producers profit will also increase. නේද? Producers profit will also increase. If producers profit rises, what will happen? New consumers enter. Say new producers will enter into the market to supply more to get the profit. And price එක වැඩි නම් producers ලා profit එකත් වැඩි. නේද? එතකොට ඒකෙන් benefit එකක් ගන්න producers ලා ටික ආයිමත් farmers ලා ටික encourage වෙනවා. Because they know that prices are high now. If they supply quickly, they will have a greater profit. නේද? එතකොට supply එක වැඩි වෙනවා immediately. If so, supply will rise up to the extent where demand occurred. එතකොට market එකේ shortage එකක් නැහැ. දැන් මේ shortage එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක automatically මේ price එකත් එක්ක change කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේ market එකේ resources ටික we can say efficiently used, efficiently allocated. නේද? There are no any differences, I mean surpluses or shortages in the market. අපි හිතමුකෝ surplus එකක් වුණා කියලා. surplus කියන්නේ too much of goods. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? Price of such an item goes down. If so, consumers are encouraged to buy more items, many units of that product. So then increase in demand can exhaust entire excess output. Then the market will move into an equilibrium, or once again a settled, no excess supply or the surplus. එතකොට මේ market එක අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ market system එකේදී shortages surpluses එන්නේ නැති විදියට ඒ price mechanism එකට පුළුවන් resources ටික handle කරන්න. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ මෙතන මම දාලා තිනවා consumer sovereignty කියන එක. ඒතකොට ඒකත් benefit එකක්. consumers ලා තමයි leaders ලා. goods are available which are demanded by consumers. ඒතකොට ඒක benefit එකක් නේ. ඒක we can somewhat essential benefit. නේද? ඊළඟ එක markets are somewhat competitive. Then large number of goods, consumers have more choices, quality products. The market is growing fast. Through benefits. As well as technology will be adopted, new technology. Yeah. Yes, Lutira, yeah. Oh, no problem, no problem. If someone needs, I will send you the what you call the video. Right. So the next one, improvement in technology, of course, will be a benefit in this market, as well as availability of economic freedom, even a benefit. අපි තුන් පුතා මෙහෙම එකක්. දැන් මේ country එකේ government කියලා sector එකක් තියෙනවා, private කියලා sector එකක් තියෙනවා. නේද? අපි example එකක් ගමුකෝ. Private buses, government buses. නේද? එතකොට ඒක private sector එකයි public sector එකයි. හරි. අපි හිතමුකෝ ඔයාටත් බස් එකක් දාන්න ඕනේ කියලා. It's your own travel service. Possible. It's possible. නේද? ඔයාට ඒක use ඔයාට ඒක ඔයාට බස් එකක් අරගත්තා, license එක අරගත්තා, market එකට enter වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි හිතමුකෝ ඔයාට train එකක් දාන්න ඕනේ. You want to start such a train service. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? Is it possible or impossible? Then ඒක බෑ. ඇයි? It is handled by the government sector. If so, others can't enter. Now freedom is not there. Freedom is not there. When private sector operates, there is a freedom. If the government exists of supplying such an item, freedom is not there. එනකොට freedom කෙනෙකුට දැන් හොඳට තේරෙනවා. Market එකේ private sector එකක් විතර නම් ඉන්නේ, it's freedom. Market sector ඉන්න නම් freedom. But if there is a government, only government, no freedom. So then competition is high in this market. It would be a important advantage. So after that, a few more things are added about disadvantages of a free market. තත් මේකට කියනවා market failure කියලා. Market failure. එතකොට market failure එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ simply the price mechanism fails to allocate resources efficiently. You know, price mechanism sense price. අර තමයි කලින් example එකෙත් කිව්වේ. Demand and supply. නේද? price එක change වෙනවා. එතකොට market එකට සමහරවිට suppliers ලා enter වෙනවා, සමහරවිට consumption එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ ඔක්කොම වෙන්නේ මේ price එක change වෙන දිහා බලලා. දැන් අපිත් එහෙමනේ. මොකක් හරි product එකක් cheap නම් අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? We will immediately purchase. නේද? අන්නේ විදියට මේ price එකට පුළුවන් මේ market එක handle කරන්න. හැබැයි හැම වෙලාවෙම මේක කරන්නේත් නැහැ. In some cases, price, in other words, price mechanism fails to allocate resources. අපි ඒකට කියනවා market failure එකක් කියලා. අන්නේ failure එකට කියන තව නමක් තමයි ඒකම අපි කියනවා disadvantage කියලා. There are number of disadvantages. අපි one by one ලියාගෙන යන්න. You have your copy, I guess. First one, non-provision of public goods. Non-provision of public goods. Next one. Yeah, Chaturpama හරි පුතා මේ ඉෂුව එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔයාලගේ ඉස්සරහ ටියුස් ටිකත් අපේ තියෙන කන්ඩිෂන් මම දැසට දීලා නම් තියෙන්නේ. හරි හරි මේකට ඉෂුව එක 5 we have wrote 5 decide one. අපතර මේක ලිව්වද මේකේ? මේ ටික අපි ඩිස්කස් කළාද? මට කිව්වේ නෑනේ කවුරුත්. පුතා මෙතන පොඩ්ඩක් මට චුට්ටක් කමියුනිකේට් කරන්න තොර ලේසි. මොකද අපි ලාස්ට් වීක් කරන්න උන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් තන්දරින් ටිකක් ඩේන්ජරස් කියලා හිතුණා. ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් මම ක්ලාස් එක ඩ්‍රොප් කළේ. හරි අපි તો නැවතුනේ කොහෙද? පුතාට අනික තව මැසේජ් එකක් stop from externalities. හරි අපේ තියෙනවා තියෙන එක කියන්නේ disadvantage ටික ලියලා. හරි තව පොඩි මැසේජ් එකක් දෙන්න තියෙනවා. මේ අපි ඇඩ්වාන්ස් ලෙවල් ක්ලාසස් පටන් ගන්න පුතා ඉකොනොමික්ස් ඒ කමින් මම ඩිසයිඩ් කරලා තියෙන්නේ tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning මේ විදිහටම අපි ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාසස් ඒකෙදී ඔයාලගේ soft copy එක Etude එකේ ලැබෙනවා ඔයාට ඒත් එක්කම මේ ඒ ඇඩ්වාන්ස් ලෙවල් ලෙසන්ස් වලදී පුතා ඔයාට ආයිමත් මේ ටික මීට වඩා ගොඩක් අපි මේ ඩබල් AT වල කරන්නේ බොහොම චුට්ටයි මේ දෙක කරන්නේ ඇඩ්වාන්ස් ලෙවල් එකේදී මේ ඔක්කොම අපි ස්ටඩි කරනවා somewhat deeply හරිනේ අපි මේ විතරක් නෙවෙයි ගොඩාක් deeply අපි ඒක ස්ටඩි කරනවා එතකොට ඒකට ජොයින් වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාලට ඒකෙදි මම ඔයාලට ලින්ක් එක මේ ලින්ක් එකම තමයි වෙනසක් නැහැ අපි හෙට උදේ 11:30 තියෙන්නේ එතකොට මම ඩිසයිඩ් කරලා තියෙන්නේ 2 classes per week online නිසා 2 classes per week අපි කරමු ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාලට තව එකක් මේ අපි මේ week එකේ මැද පටන් ගන්න තියෙන month එකේ මැද this is completely free in this month completely free anyone can join and you are welcome for that session පුතා ටියුස් ටික ඒකෙදී ඒ ලෙසන් එකේදී මම personally courier කරනවා advanced level lessons වලදී ඒ ටියුස් ටික මම personally ඔයාලට courier කරනවා හරිනේ හරි මේ message එකත් එක්ක අපි lesson එක start කරමු හරි එහෙනම් අපිට පටන් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ centrally planned economy එකේ ඉඳලා centrally planned economy කියලා අපි කියන්නේ දැන් මේ කතා කරේ market economy එක ඒකයි එක structure එකක් country එකේ ඉන්නවා මිනිස්සු නේද අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත මිනිස්සු ඉන්නවා resources are limited compared to their unlimited bonds එතකොට මේ country එකේ ඉන්න producers ලා ඒකොල්ලා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් private sector and public sector then they have to make goods for these people අන්නේ ඒක තමයි common condition එක හරිද private එකයි public sector එකයි මේ මිනිස්සුන්ට අවශ්‍ය කරන නේද goods and services ටික supply කරන්න ඕන ඒක තමයි requirement එක හැබැයි particular economic system concentrate wealth we can say profit for the private sector and markets are competitive then price mechanism allocates all the resources efficiently උතා අපි ඒකට කිව්වා ඒ system එක ඒ process එක ඒ country එකේ ඇතුලේ තියෙන ඒ process එකට අපි නමක් කියනවා market economy කියලා හරිද දැන් අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ planned economy තවත් ඒ විදිහේ රටක් හැබැයි ඇතුලේ තියෙන system එක economic system එක actually depends upon in other words people rely on the government they believe that government is the best of supplying these resources supply and this production. So then they will they want to produce such goods and services and distribute it. This happens through the government sector. So it is called centrally planned economy, sometimes command economy. උතාගේ ටියුට් එක තියෙනවා නම් ඒක within bracket දාගන්න command economy. Central planned economy within bracket command economy. So in this command economy ධර්ම තව එකක් කියන්න බලන්න ටියුට්ස් නැති නිසා හම්බෙච්ච නැති නිසා කට්ටියට මම ඔයාලට soft copy එක ඔයා මට පොඩි message එකක් දාන්න හම්බෙච්ච නැති ළමයි ටික මේ ටියුට් එකේ කොහොමද ඉවරෙන්නත් කිට්ටුයි ඒටි මම ඔයාලට send කරන්න ඔයාලට අනිත් එකත් සර්ගෙන් හම්බ වෙයි එතකන් ඔයා මේ ටියුට්ස් එක refer කරන්න හරි so this is an economic system where almost all resources are owned and controlled by the government, where the scarce resources are allocated by the centralized planning authority. Centralized planning authority. Then කලින් price mechanism එකක් නිතිබුණේ. දැන් resources ටික owned and controlled by the government. හරිද? එතකොට මේකේ central planning authority එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ a particular group of people are there in a country who knows about each and every aspect of the economy. They are the one considering wealth or considering the entire system. අපි ඒකට කියනවා centrally planned authority. දැන් අපේ government එක දිහා බැලුවොත් එහෙම there is a parliament, sort of central planning authority, or else there's a cabinet. What do you call particular ministers, right? For the including the government, they decide. They are the one making plans. It is called centrally or centralized planning authority. Hi, the මෙහෙම countries තියෙන්නේ ලෝකේ දැනට එකයි. It is called North Korea. So North Korea. Kim Jong-un, what do you call that's the name of the president in that country, you know very well. He is like a sort of a arrogant, what do you call, particular person who always fighting with other countries or making particular warnings for, especially USA, even South Korea. He's the president in that country and only one country in the world right now. Earlier, Cuba was one of central planned economy. Before it, China was a famous. Actually, Russia is the very first country in the world which followed planned economy or the command system. Later on, they decided the system is not good. They decided to switch from planned economy to market economy. Now, many other countries are moving to that system, but only North Korea is still following centrally planned economy. Right, for example, North Korea. As well as it says, these economies that exclusively use central planning are called command economies. In other words, governments direct or command resources to be used in particular ways. For example, governments can force citizens to pay taxes and decide how many roads or hospitals are built. Command economies have certain advantages over free market economies, especially in terms of coordination of resources, scarce resources at times of crisis, such as a war or following a natural disaster. ඒ වගේ සිස්ටම් එකකද අපි තමු war එකක් වගේ නා එහෙම නැත්නම් natural දැන් මේ දවස්වලත් යන ලොකු war එකක් ඊශ්‍රායල් and Palestine නේද? It's a heavy severe war right now in the world. Even Israel is one of country which has best military system it is one of what you call sort of military power is really high. So and ඒ වගේ countries පුතා වල බෝ මේ වගේ disasters එකක් වුණායින් පස්සේ we can say somewhat effect they will face properly than other systems. But when we come to overall characteristics, here scarce resources are owned by the government, public enterprises, economies operated through planned mechanism, social welfare is a major incentive of the government, centralized decision making. එතකොට මේකෙද අපි අර market system එකත් එක්ක compare කරලා බැලුවොත් ඒකේ තිබුණේ resources are owned by the private sector. මේකෙදි resources are owned by the government නේද? එතකොට ඒ system එකේදී resources ටික private sector එකේ නම් production එකත් private sector. Then entrepreneurs of course private. Here public sector enterprises because resources are owned by the government. Next one, economy is operated through a planned mechanism. Centralized planning mechanism. Price mechanism. Here the social welfare is the major incentive. Self-interest. Then government profit wealth of consumers නේ. එතකොට මිනිස්සුන්ට ඕන දේ තමයි supply කරන්නේ. Social welfare is the priority for social welfare than the profit. Next one, centralized decision making. In the decision making, of course, in the planned economy is centralized. Why?